and Tom takes him in under his wing and teaches him some stuff. The main part of Clayton's world, his heart is just right there on the table for Olivia. I'm very excited for everybody to see where we've taken things up until the end of this season, and hopefully it gets people excited for what's to come.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Heart in Motion podcast. I'm so excited to welcome Jedidiah Goodacre to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much for having me, Stephanie.
Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so excited to talk about your character, Clayton, on Hope Valley 1874. For those of you listening and watching right now, Hope Valley 1874 airs on Hallmark Plus. We get a new episode every Thursday. So I'm excited to dig in and talk a little bit about Clayton, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
I thought it
Ask
would be
away.
fun to get to know you a little bit via way of Clayton, if you're okay of that. What we know about
Okay. Yeah.
Clayton is that he can pretty much fix anything. We've heard of that. We also know that Olivia clearly sees him as a really skilled craftsman. So be honest, if something breaks on set, is Jedediah going to be able to fix it, or should we rely on Clayton to be the more skilled fixer-upper?
I think you know what Clayton is definitely when it comes to woodworking and fine woodworking, Clayton is a master. And he learned a lot from Tom, but he's surpassed him in his mastery of it. But I think I could hold my own. I used to build houses. I used to be a framing carpenter, and used to work for a contractor. So I've done everything from foundation to roofing. So I think
That's
I
pretty
like to think
fantastic.
that I'd be able to do a decent job. But Clayton
So
might edge me out.
your acting isn't having to stretch you too far when you're in that role.
In certain aspects, it's definitely not a stretch for me. And
Okay.
yeah, which I love too. It's always fun to do stuff that you're familiar with, you
Yeah,
know.
that's pretty
So.
cool. So we don't know a whole lot about Clayton. It's funny because even on IMDb it says Clayton dot 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 Tom's ranch hand. And yeah. And so it's been fun for us to try to figure out kind of what that backstory is of Clayton. We know that even in episode 2, Clayton tells Rebecca that he won't go behind Nash's back. So, where does that loyalty come from? What does that say about him and their relationship?
Well, there's so much mystery behind a lot of these characters, right? We're meeting them for the first time, and I've been making choices, and playing Clayton as somebody who had a difficult past, a difficult upbringing, and he was perhaps maybe left on his own. And I like to think of this kind of stray dog out in the wild that Tom just sees, and he's a little bit skinny and scrappy, and Tom takes him in under his wing and teaches him some stuff, and realizes that Clayton is somebody who's worth helping out. And then Nash also happens to be working on the ranch, and I think if Tom Moore is Clayton's kind of a father figure to him that I don't think Clayton ever really had in his life, then Nash would be that older brother or older cousin, kind of, you know, to be there to make
Yeah.
make the tough times when Tom is a little bit hard on Clayton. Nash is there to cheer him up, and both guys, both actors, Ben and and Brad, are just, yeah, couldn't ask for cooler dudes to be working with. So they make it easy. Yeah, and I think that, yeah, it's just that kind of like brotherhood that Clayton is super very grateful that he has this family, because I think before this, family was a difficult thing for him.
Got it. It's definitely going to be fun to see, more of his past and that revealed. And I'm sure it's fun for you to kind of, without knowing, kind of envision in your
Yeah,
mind, kind of
yeah,
create that what's not on
yeah,
paper right now. So it's always
yeah.
fun talking to actors and they're like, oh, I didn't know that about my character. So
Well, it's very true. Yeah, I might be completely wrong about all of this, but I think I've got the right idea. So
go with it right now. We've got a nice
Right,
little
right.
triangle going between Olivia and Alexander and Clayton. And it's been really fun to watch the way that you kind of play his facial expressions when he sees, Olivia maybe switch and she's kind of engaging a little bit more with Alexander. So, what do you think is actually going through Clayton's head when some of those interactions are going on? Is he questioning himself? Is there a little bit of that competition in him? Like, what's he thinking in those moments right now?
I think he's thinking, he's just like a new animal that came into the cage. Like, what is this guy? What is the suit he's wearing? Why is he so tall? Like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff. It's just like kind of like just this new being that has, walked into his world and has not only that, he's shaking up things with, the main part of Clayton's world, his heart is just right there on the table for Olivia.
Yeah.
And it's just like this guy walked in and, shoved it off the table so he could put his stuff down there. So it's very fun to play those moments, and it's always fun playing them with Roan and Lockie, the two actors.
Yeah.
They're so great to play off of. So yeah.
Well, Alfonso definitely loves a good triangle, and this one definitely, even in doing voting, the first four episodes is right down the middle. So it'll be interesting to see how the season progresses with the three of them, and definitely fun to watch. So,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's heading towards a very good place. I'm very excited for everybody to see where we've taken things up until the end of this season, and yeah, hopefully it gets people excited for what's to come.
okay. So speaking of what's to come, as we get further into the season, would you say we're moving closer to understanding Clayton more or realizing that there's more that we don't know about him?
I think it's the onion. There's another layer. There's always another layer. And I think just like a lot of the other characters in this one, we're finding out new things about him, and he's growing like right before our eyes. So
Yeah.
I think just like you can't peel off. There's always another layer that grows on top that you're peeling off, kind of thing. So I think we learn a lot about him, and I think he learns a lot about himself.
Yeah. We're heading into the second half of the season. What's the first word that comes to your mind that describes Clayton's journey this second half?
Hmm. Uh, Bravery,
Ooh, okay. Something to come, huh?
or vulnerable. Bravery and vulnerable. Two words. I'm
Okay.
doing two words.
We always break the rules around here,
There we
so
go.
you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I am loving this series. So glad that we got to catch up and talk real quickly. So excited to see where Clayton's journey goes. Wishing you the best, and want to remind everybody that's watching right now that you can watch Hope Valley 1874 on Hallmark Plus every Thursday. And so excited to talk to you. Hopefully, we'll get to catch up more down the road. So,
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me today,
thanks
Stephanie.
so much. All right. Bye bye.